Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today, I've got a question and I'm wondering, should my family trade in our ID4 for the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9 when it comes out later this spring? Let's get into it. All right, so if you haven't heard, Hyundai is finally coming out with their three-row SUV, the Hyundai Ioniq 9. At one point in time, it was going to be the Ioniq 7, but they changed the 9, so it kind of aligned with the Kia EV9. But yeah, so I was recently at the Washington, D.C. Auto Show, and they had the Hyundai Ioniq 9, and I thought it looked really great. When I had seen all the announcements about that Ioniq 9, I thought the front looked really nice. I liked the side profile, and then I saw the rear, and I was a little like, I don't know about that. So I waited, I reserved judgment. I went and saw it at the Washington, D.C. Auto Show, and I thought the rear looked good, actually, in my opinion. So it's definitely a car you got to see in person. I wasn't allowed to go inside, which was a little bit of a bummer, but that's okay. I've seen photos and stuff of the inside of the car. So anyways, after seeing that, that kind of solidified to me that this is a car that I think my family would be interested in. So then later that weekend, I brought my son and my wife, and of course it would be her car because we'd be getting rid of the ID4, so she has to like the car. And so she says she likes the car. So we still need to go drive it and see if she enjoys driving it and all the tech and stuff inside, but we're definitely considering it. I think as far as our family is concerned, it's bigger. It has 3 rows. The third row can actually fit like an adult human. So if we ever wanted to take people, like a large group of people somewhere, we could. Right? Because right now, honestly, no one that we know has a car that big. If we wanted to take a large group of people somewhere. Additionally, the charging, it's not that much faster than the ID4, but it is faster, especially down low on that 10 to 50%. Range, and it would be a really good road tripper for us. We got a dog, we have a 4-year-old, soon to be a 5-year-old, and then my wife and I, and when we go on trips places, a little bit of space would be nice to be able to carry everything, and just to feel comfortable and not feel smushed. And to be honest, we've loved the ID4, and we've never felt super squished, but it would be nice to have a little bit of room to expand into. So I guess, I'm just trying to see if people on this channel would be interested in us covering that car. That may or may not help us make the decision. I think we've wanted to move towards a bigger car for her anyways, but we shall see. So I wanted to go over a few things on the internet to show you some things about the Ioniq 9 if you're not sure, maybe if this is the first you're hearing about it. All right, everyone, this is the landing page for the Hyundai Ioniq 9. It says coming spring 2025. When I spoke to one of the representatives at the auto show, they were saying that production was supposed to start sometime in March and then maybe seen like April or May coming to dealers. Obviously, that's just what someone told me. I don't know for sure. But if that's true, then this will be coming up soon for us if we want to make a decision. So there's not much here. If you scroll down, you can look at pictures and stuff. And it looks like it's mostly the calligraphy trim, which is very nice, but we will probably not be getting. So then I want to go to this. This is kind of the press release that they put out in November when they announced some more information surrounding the Ioniq 9. I'm not going to go over everything, but one of the highlights is here is 10 to 80% in 24 minutes, which is great. The ID4 does about 10 to 80 in 28, 29, 30, so it's a little bit faster, but not super fast. Now here it says WLTP projected driver range of 620 kilometers, but I went, and honestly I forget what source it was. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it said 335 miles EPA estimate. So that's pretty good and would definitely work for our family as far as road tripping is concerned. Talking about the 110.3 kilowatt hour battery that is bigger than the Kia EV9, which allows it to have a little bit more range than the Kia EV9. It does talk about there's going to be a long-range rear-wheel drive, there's going to be all-wheel drive, and then there's going to be a performance all-wheel drive. We'll probably just go for the rear-wheel drive, maybe consider the all-wheel drive. It would really depend. We don't really need speed, so we'll probably do rear-wheel drive. And also, although we've been getting a lot of winter weather lately, but we don't get a ton where we need all-wheel drive, and we're both teachers, so it's not something we need to have. They're talking about the 100-watt high output USB-C ports, which are always nice, and then some things that are only available for us in Korea. So now what I want to do, oh, here it is. That's where I saw it. 335-mile long-range rear-wheel drive with the 19-inch wheels. And here we've got some exterior colors. The Celadon Gray Matte Metallic, which looks very nice. I think that's the one that they've been that we saw at the car show, and they've been using in their promotion for the top trim car. And then that's pretty much it there. So then I just want to go through the specs. I'm not going to go through all the specs, but the things that I thought were pretty important. Again, 160 kilowatt output, honestly not a lot, and 258 pound-feet of torque. Again, not a lot for a bigger car, so it's probably not going to be the most fast accelerating, but again, like I said, that's not super important to us. Scrolling down here, it's a bunch of stuff that it does matter, but you know, I don't want to spend time talking on. The turning diameter, it says something we really enjoyed about the ID4. I believe it was 31 feet or maybe 30 feet. This is 41, so obviously this is going to be much bigger, but it should be obviously since it's a bigger car. Scrolling down, I like how this says number of wheels, 4. Always good. 4 wheels, that's what I look for. Some stuff up there. Okay, here we go. They've got the S and SE, SEL Limited, and Calligraphy, which is the top trim. We're probably looking at the SE or the SEL trim. It really will just depend on pricing. Speaking of pricing, nothing's been announced yet, but they have announced pre-orders in Korea. I went and did some translations. And I know it doesn't directly translate, so I understand that. But it was translated to about 61,000 American. So I'm thinking that like 60-ish is where the big battery will start. And that'll be okay. We're probably looking to lease anyways, and we'll see what kind of lease deals they got going on here. Just scrolling through, I like how they have the non-painted black wheel arches. If you've watched any of my other videos when I was looking at the Ioniq 9, I don't love the body color. I think it looks a little odd, honestly. But that's what they've had. Scrolling through, unfortunately, my wife would have loved a sunroof, but it's only available unlimited, and I don't think we're going to be able to stretch that high. But it comes standard with power liftgate, power charge port door, which is always nice. We got the roof rails, so we can put our cargo box on top if we desire to. You get the H-Tech trim seating for the SEL. That's cloth for S and SE. You get the power driver's seat regardless of trim, and then SE and SEL get the power passenger seat. All the front seats are heated. SEL gets the ventilated. She doesn't necessarily care about ventilated. I care about ventilated, but so we could go SE in that perspective. Only driver memory for the top 2 trims, which is interesting. So you got manual for all of the SE and SEL trims for the bench, and I'm cool with the bench seat. I like the bench seat. It makes it a nice flat surface if we want to move stuff or anything like that. And then Apple CarPlay, no premium audio, but that's fine for us. All of them have wireless charging. I'm gonna get down to here we go. So this is where we're gonna have to make it, and I know this sounds silly, but my wife, she misses her heated steering wheel from her Nissan Rogue, and she would like to have it back. And the SEL has the heated steering wheel, but the SE doesn't. So that could be a make or break for us as to which trim we get if we go with this car. Heads-up display, we don't care too much about that. All of them have all smart cruise control, which is nice, and I believe they all have HDA too. I may have already went past that. power windows with front auto up and down. Only calligraphy gets the second row, but that's not that big a deal to me. Here we have a power remote release for the hood and the trunk and the power door, so that's nice. The front console only slides for the top two trims, but that's not that big a deal for us as well. Here is something that I would have liked to have, but it's only limited, and calligraphy is having the outlet in the rear, but that's, you know, not the end of the world. It would have been nice to have. Rear view mirror, auto dimming, manual daylight. So auto dimming is SEL. So, you know, that is a nice little feature. Ambient lighting is only on SEL, limited in calligraphy. Also not a make or break, but ambient lighting is always nice. Hyundai digital key only comes on the top two trims. We've never had it, so we can't really miss it, but it would have been nice to have. That's fine. Moving on. Yep, just some standard safety stuff. Here's the ADAS. Oh, so I didn't miss it yet. Yep, they all come standard with HGA 2, so that's great, and Smart Cruise Control 2, which is really nice. Remote Smart Parking Assist 2 is only in calligraphy. We don't really need that, so I'm not too concerned. And then, did it have lane centering? I think that's a part of HGA 2, and so that's good. All right, moving on. So here's some specs, and this is the last big thing I really wanted to talk about. So this drag coefficient is for the non-American markets where they can get the camera rearview mirrors. We can't get that, so I believe it's 2.79, or, you know, basically round up to 2.8. So it's pretty efficient for how big of a car it is. They built it to be aerodynamic. So passenger interior volume, that's what I was looking for. For the ID4, it's around 99, and this is 163, so it's more than 50% passenger volume. Obviously, you're getting an extra seat, but that also means that every seat also has a little bit more room than the ID4. And then lastly, the most important thing here, I think, for us and for our family is luggage capacity. So if we have the third row down, we get 46.7 cubic feet, whereas the ID4 is 30. So we get 15 more cubic feet, so 50% increase in luggage capacity for trips, which would be really nice. And I think with that, we might actually be able to fit most of the stuff we would have up in the cargo down here, and then we're going to have that, and then we don't have that additional drag to make the car a little less efficient. And then also, too, if we ever needed to lug big stuff around, we can drop down the second row, and then we get 86.9 cubic feet of storage, which would be awesome and welcome. So, yeah. So after going through the specs there, you know, a lot of stuff we want. I also forgot to talk about the surround view mirror. That's in there somewhere as well. I think that's only SEL. I'll double check and I'll put, oh, I just found it. It's SEL and up. So I think we're definitely going to, and sorry about the sun. It is, let me see if that can bring the brightness down a little bit. The sun is like really hitting me right now. But anyways, I think the SEL is where we're probably going to lean, just because it has a lot of features that she kind of misses from her Rogue. So probably the way we'll go, but we'll see how the financials kind of shake out once they announce all the pricing. Hopefully soon. If it's going to be going on sale in April or May, it's February. So maybe later this month or next month they'll announce pricing, but I don't know. I think it'd be really good for our family if the price is right. I'd love to hear your all's thoughts about the car. I'd love to hear your all's thoughts about whether you think the car would be good for us. Some of you've been around the channel for a while. You've seen some of our road trips. You know, you might be able to speak to, you know, what you all think. You know, when you have a YouTube channel and you're covering cars, you know, you have this battle where I want to bring stuff that you all want to see, but I also want to bring stuff that works for my family, so that, so we're all happy. But obviously my family comes first. So yeah, I'd love to see if people out there interested to see the average EV cover the Hyundai Ioniq 9. I do try to stick to affordable cars, and while this necessarily isn't an affordable car, I think it's an affordable 3-row car for people who want an EV and have a bigger family and want to have a 3-row SUV. So that's all I have for today. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Love to hear your comments down below about what you think about the Ioniq 9 and whether it works for my channel, and if you'd want to see the coverage about it. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to give a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you all next time.